All right, hello everybody. Welcome back. This is the second video of our student series. In the last video, I talked to you about the challenges of getting a job and challenged you to start thinking differently about the job process and career-wise. I'm your host, Dr. Yu. This is a new series on our channel, Microbiology Explained. In this series, we're going to go over how to maximize your college experience and get the most from it in order to be successful. So some ideas I'm going to throw at you in this video series, whether in this particular one or in other videos, would be start thinking differently about different career opportunities. I want you to think differently about possibilities and the opportunities where they are and realize that you have more chances than you may realize. You just have to know where to look. And hopefully I'll point you at places where you can look. I'm going to talk about keys versus of active versus passive networking, and you need to do both in your career. I'll emphasize career planning while in college. Job searching from an employer's perspective, I hope to throw some of that in for your sake. Tips on how to manage your relationship with your supervisors and boss, or whoever is above you that you're working with. If you manage that, things will be very, very well. And I also want to highlight building a personal brand. And I'm going to cover all those ideas some point in time or the other in this series. But let's start with the most important person, you. I love to show this quote, know thyself. It's an ancient Greek quote attributed to Socrates, maybe somebody else, but know thyself. Do you know yourself? And do you think of yourself? Because all the advice in the world I'll give you is irrelevant if you don't or are not struggling to have some sort of grasp on yourself. And your quest and your journey doesn't begin with some amounts of introspection where you're looking at yourself and you're trying to say and understand yourself better. Because the better you know yourself, the more you'll be able to use any advice that I give you. And so the first thing I usually talk to my students and you about is, what do you want from a career, right? What are the things that you like? What are you looking for? Are you looking for work-life balance? That's important, right? Do you want to be able to have a 9 to 5 job, or do you really care? Are you able to work 80 hours a week, or whatever the case may be? Are finances a thing that's important to you? And remember, when you're exploring this and you're asking yourself these questions, don't be shy. Don't go for what is considered acceptable by society. Ask yourself more honestly what you really want from your career. And finances can be important. It can be the big motivating factor. You want the money. That's fine too. Is it stability you're looking for? Do you want something that's reliable, that you don't have to worry about the job being there next year, 5 years from now? Is that the thing that you want most? You just want a group of people who you can work with on a regular basis and just have a steady, stable, productive life. Is that what you're looking for? Or you're more adventurous and you want something that's completely turbulent and something that's completely different every time. That's an idea, but you have to ask yourself that. Are you looking for status? Right? I do enjoy my status being a doctor. I do enjoy my status being a lecturer in a university. It does have prestige to it. That's fantastic. Is that what drives you? Is that what motivates you? Do you really want to be looked up to by people or some respected in some way or the other, appreciated? That matters. Know that. Or you're looking for something with a social impact, environmentally friendly, changing the world, reaching a whole bunch of young people. You really have to ask yourself what you want from your career on a long term. And here's the other thing, you have to ask yourself that regularly because what you want can change. The younger me wanted different things from the older me. Earlier in my life, finances were very, very important because I needed that money, and therefore that was higher up. But later in my life, work life balance became more of an issue, especially when I started having a family. So ask yourself, what do you want from your career? And start with that. Here's an exercise for you. And part of this exercise came about from a student I was talking to once. And I was talking to her and asked her, what are your 5 year goals? What do you see yourself like in 10 years, 5 years from now? And I got a blank stare in response. And she said, honestly, I had never even thought about that. And that made me realize that many people don't have 5 year, 10 year goals. I do. On my wall, plastered behind this camera, is a list of my 10-year goals. Some of them are writing goals, some of them are personal goals, some of them are physical fitness goals, some of them are mental goals, some are family life. But I have a whole series of goals in importance and categorized in different categories. But I have a goal, I have a target. Because once you have a target, once you have goals, then you know how to line your career to hit those goals. Because in the end, your career is supposed to serve you and help you achieve those things which are most important to you, which are probably your goals or should be encapsulated in your goals. The other thing I would like you to think about yourself is, how do you succeed beyond your degree, right? um, what are the things that you have to do or things that add to your career that enrich you? Because right now you're going through college, you're studying hard, you're getting very, very good in a technical field, business degree, marketing, sales, arts, science, whatever the case may be. You're getting very, very good. But what else do you need surrounding that which will help you succeed? I'll pull some things. And from my experiences, I know that these things are very, very important. One is volunteering. Believe it or not, your career is going to be made far, far better if you start spending time now volunteering. Because volunteering, first of all, it gives you an immense amount of satisfaction. And when you get satisfaction from your life, you do better in whatever you're doing. But secondly, it also puts you with the right people in the right sort of setting. It says something about you. When I was in graduate school for 7 years, every Sunday throughout the semester, I had a volunteer commitment in the morning at my church. And what did it say? It said to lots of people that this person really wants to dedicate themselves to helping others in a certain way, and it really helped me. Consider certifications. I, I I've seen many fields in which you have certifications which you could easily get in 1 or 2 months of studying, and those certifications add a huge bump to your degree. But because you didn't know to look for the certifications, you don't have them. In my industry, the food safety industry, HACCP certification. Any of you could do a HACCP certification. After 1, 2, 3 weeks of studying, you can pass that program. But if you don't know to look and get that certification, then when you're applying outside, you can be outcompeted by people who don't have your same big bachelor's degree, but they have gone to the certification process. Mentors are important. You need people who've walked the walk before, whether it's just in a particular school you're in or the career you're looking for. I've been fortunate throughout my career to have at different times different people who mentored me well and helped me along and showed me where to turn left instead of right and helped me very much. And that's important. And I actively encourage you to look for those. It could be senior students, it could be professors, they could be staff members. There are many people in your institution who can play that mentor role in one form or the other. Networking, I've said this in the last video and I'll say it again: network, network, network. Do you know the person next to you in class? Do you know the two people, the one to your right and to your left? Do you bother to even have a conversation with them? Who knows? And I'll use this example over and over again. One of my good friends from my bachelor's back in the mid 2000s, 10, 15 years afterwards, I found him through LinkedIn, and through LinkedIn, I got my first job. Not my first job, but I got a job which was in this area, which I really, really wanted to get in, just because I was able to stretch out with him and say, "Hey, Eddie, how are you? Long time no speak. Let's connect again. And do you know anything about this job?" And he was able to point me in the right direction. Networking is important. A priori preparation. I can stress that over and over again. I'm preparing now for my challenges tomorrow and day after tomorrow. Always think forward, prepare ahead of time. Dare to think differently. I love this image with the two fish bowls, right? You who sees things that are different, you can see an opportunity that other people may miss, and dare and see things differently. And hopefully, I'll point out that. Homework exercise number 3. I gave you the one about your goals early on in this talk, but here's another exercise. And I will give credit to a gentleman called Jordan Harbinger. I've listened to his podcast. He's a fantastic speaker. And I got this idea straight from him. His challenge was, if you lost your job today, who are the 10 people you'll call? Meaning, if you're in a crisis situation, who are those you would rely on to help you out of that crisis and losing your job? Stop and think about that list. Then contact them now. Have a relationship with them now. Don't wait till the day when you need them to pick up the phone to call them. Whether it's sending them a Christmas card, a text message, something or the other, have some sort of contact and communication with them early and often. I started doing this on a regular basis. January 1st, 2000 and to 2020, 2021, the year of the coronavirus crisis. And I made that list and I contacted everybody on that list. 3 months afterwards, I found out that I was going to be out of a job. Guess what? Now that I can turn around and contact those people again, it's not just somebody out of the blue calling, it's a friend of theirs who they remember and who you have a connection with. Make that list, do that. Have this constant stream of communication with people who you know and who matter to you. It's important. I hope you've got something out of this. As always, subscribe, share, and in the next video, I'm going to go over some more lessons from my career path. I'm going to go deep into my career path and extrapolate some lessons. I hope you've got something out of this, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.